Hello and welcome back. My name is Britton from Greenbrier Vintage, and in today's video, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. Tracy from T&E's Home challenged me to a thrifting challenge, and in this challenge, we both go thrifting separately and try to find items in 5 different categories of vintage home decor. Tracy is based out of Saskatchewan and I'm based out of Ontario, so we had to collaborate together across provinces to put this video together. After you're done watching my part of the thrifting challenge, make sure you head on over to Tracy's channel to watch her part of the thrifting challenge, and don't forget to like and subscribe. The first category for the thrifting challenge was on trend for 2026. Now, I must admit this is probably the most challenging for me just because I don't typically look for things that are on trend. I just look for things I like and hope that if I like it, my customer base will like it as well. So I did try to look up trends for 2026 before going thrifting, just so I had a general idea of what to put for this category. Hopefully you like what I found. This is interesting. It's brass covered wood box. I think this is a Florentine box. For this video, I forgot to take a video of me pulling it off the shelf, but I have this wood box. This is cool. I assume it opens up, but I need 2 hands for it. The first part of the challenge was the most on trend for 2026. So these are the items that I found that I think apply most. Of course, like I mentioned, I'm not super into trends. I don't really follow the trends. I just kind of buy what I like and then hope that the customers will follow and will go along with what I like as well. And I would say though that out of most of the things that I found, this is the kind of vibe and style that I enjoy the most. I like to decorate my home kind of with this kind of thing. I love wood, birds, flowers, brass, and then old world kind of charm and patina and age and antiques. So I think this is a good mixture of things that I normally like to decorate with. The mirror is actually something that I found for myself. It is going to go to my bathroom renovations, and I'm just gonna make some stronger wire on the back of it and get it ready to hang. It does of course have, you know, the little bits of wear here and there, but it's just a stunning piece, and you can tell how old it is by the backing on it. And just looking at the details across the top, it's actually so stunning. It is a little, you can tell that the glass has that kind of, it's either desilvering or silvering. I always forget the term, maybe desilvering, but it does have a little bit of the glass wearing away, but to me, that doesn't matter. That is just part of the charm and part of having an old antique piece like this. So I'll take the mirror off the table, and then I'm going to talk about these pieces. So quite an interesting assortment of boxes that I have here. This one, I just love the old patina of the brass. And I do think that a big style that will be coming in 2026, as well as into the future, past 2026, is more of an old world European heavy patina kind of decorating style. So I do think that brass box, which is from England, and then this Florentine piece, it's not stamped Italy on it, but it does look like an Italian Florentine piece. It might not be actually Italian, I'm not sure, but these kind of pieces I think go more into the 2026 decorating trends that we're going to be seeing, with people liking that old world charm, heavy patina, heavy aged kind of look to things, and just a home that looks like character and lived in for decorating. So those pieces definitely apply for that. More of a European vibe kind of feel. The mirror as well, mixing kind of antique elements into a house. And definitely 2026, I've seen lots of trend reports coming out talking about how things, people are going to be more into moody and warmth and wood. So these pieces apply also to that, more of the wood elements. So minimalist and, you know, empty beige and white and everything is out, which is good for me because this is the stuff that I like anyways, and I always love decorating. I think wood is so warm and rich, especially this, the different colors of the wood on this box and the inlay here. It's just a gorgeous, gorgeous piece. And you can use boxes for anything in your house for styling. You know, you can put trinkets inside, jewelry inside. You can put your remote controls and you know, keep your matches or cards or anything you want, little trinkets and toys and stuff. And I know I said this was all about boxes. I totally forgot this is actually a box as well. So a very, very interesting piece. Someone obviously carved this all out of 2 pieces of wood and then carved out the interior of this duck so that you could put things inside, and it's your secret little duck stash inside this box. So very, I know that whimsical is also a decor style that's going to be trending in 2026. Not that I would say this is exactly whimsical, but I feel like it does have whimsical elements, having a bird that you can open and keep things inside. It's kind of like, you know, brings a touch of whimsy from your childhood, you know, keeping your secret stash and secret little treasure trove of items around. Birds are always on trend, I think, and ducks. Especially I've been selling lots of duck things lately, and I think ducks are very on trend right now, even though I think that ducks and birds in general are always on trend.
For the second category, we had to look for items that were most profitable for resale value.
Okay, I feel like all of this old furniture must have all come in from the same house and they just cleared it out. Just keep finding this stuff. Like, look at this. This was back in the middle there, and when I was walking down that aisle, I saw the little steps tucked underneath. Oh my goodness. And there's this one too that folds as well. I have to look into this. They just brought out some new carts, and I found this in the cart, and I didn't know if it was vintage or not. It seems to be all sold out online, but it's from 2020 actually, so it's not actually vintage. But my husband loves Back to the Future. He has like the album. He just recently watched it too over the holidays. But anyways, it's brand new in the box. I'm assuming all the pieces are here, even though it's ripped. But I'm gonna give it to him. Give it to him as a surprise. It was $9.99. He's gonna be so excited. So the next category is most profitable finds for resale. So I didn't have a lot of items in this category. I did find a lot of items, of course, that will sell for some profit, but I would think that the highest profit margins are probably definitely for sure these steps. And I have to do a little bit more research on this canister, this enamel canister. So these library steps sell for quite a bit online. They fold up completely in there, and you can use this as a stool or a table, and then also as steps. You can leave it sitting down like this and use it for your plants or anything else you'd like to put on it. Sorry about my creaking floors. So definitely out of everything I found, this is definitely the most highest profit resale value that I would say. The only downside, of course, to this is it's not something I would ship, so it has to either be pick up a local to Hamilton, Ontario, or local delivery. I could, I guess, bring it to one of my booth spaces, but I think I would like to leave it on my website. So it will be coming to the website soon, but it would just have to be someone who is local to the Hamilton, Ontario area. Now, this I do have to look into a bit more. From what I was seeing online when I used Google Lens for this, it was saying that it was an antique French petroleum oil can. Now, when I looked up, this obviously doesn't say petroleum, and I tried to use translate for this, see what language it was, tried to translate it from French. The only thing I could think of is maybe it's some kind of oil, but I'm not sure. If anyone knows that might want to pop that comment in the chat, you can let me know. But from what I could see online, it does look exactly like the antique French oil petroleum canisters. They do look like this, but they say petroleum in stenciled letters, blue letters, instead of patentoli, I think is what it says. So if I can figure that out, the prices seemed quite on the higher end for these jugs. So hopefully maybe this is even like a brand name of the petroleum. I'm not sure. But that is why I'm including in this, because from what I could see online, these do sell for a bit of a higher price tag. But it's just interesting that this doesn't say petroleum on it. And of course, let's do a little honorable mention for that little set that I bought, which I gave to my husband. Not vintage by any means, but I guess kind of vintage inspired because it is Back to the Future. So I'll pop in a little video here. You can see my husband was quite excited about it. He set it up and on Saturday after I brought it home, and he put it all together. He was very, very excited about this. And I came to find out, so I purchased it for $9.99 Canadian on the new cart, and these sell for, at minimum, the lowest price I could find was one for $90. But all the other ones were 140 Canadian dollars plus, and it's sold out online. So if you want to talk about just general resale value, I think that one was, it should be included. So it can be my honorable mention, even though it's not vintage, and I will admit that the point of this challenge was to find vintage items. So I won't really include it here, but I just wanted to point that out, how cool and how great of a find that was.
The next category is Best Sleeper Finds.
What was that? Oh, I know exactly.
What's this? Interesting. I wonder without the collar, the bracelet, this is good for anything. And now is the category of sleeper finds or sleeper hits. So I took a little bit of a different take on what I considered a sleeper item. It wasn't something that most would overlook that was actually worth a lot of money. It was what people would most overlook based on the situation or condition that it was in. So let me show you and explain what I mean about these three pieces. So first up, we have this wicker bell. Now, this might not be the most resale for an item, but I still think it's a great item for staging. I still think there are lots of people who would be interested in something that is wood, wicker, and also I know there are a lot of people that are interested in bells. Why I think this is a sleeper hit is because the way that it was on the shelf with the wire stuff and the ribbon and wrapped all around. I'll pop in the video here so you can get reminded of how it looked. But the way it looked on the shelf did not look appealing at all. However, sometimes when you are going thrifting or estate sales, garage sales, whatever, you're looking for vintage or secondhand items, sometimes you just need to look beyond the exterior to what it might look like without those things. There have been plenty of times where I have purchased wicker items like wall baskets that hang on the wall that have fake dried flowers. They have those green blocks of foam in them. They are not attractive looking at all. You take out all that dated dried floral and everything. It looks great. So I'll also pop in some pictures here of some wall baskets I have found and also sold that had fake foliage inside that just needed to get that removed, and then they looked great. Same applies, I think, to this wicker bell. I think it's a great styling piece. You could hang some rope on it and have it hanging maybe on a hook or something styled by a door, but I think it would look great styled on top of a stack of books. It's great shelf decor, and it also falls into the 2026 trends of, dark, moody wood, that kind of thing. So that's why I think this is a sleeper hit. Next up, something I consider a sleeper hit is this camel head. Now, if you remember, I'll pop it in the video here, but it had this bracelet around it as a collar, and I removed that. And then it also had some tassels here, leather kind of tassels from this collar that were all frayed and kind of falling apart. I clipped those off. Now, what someone can do, what I would personally do with this, is get something so you could attach it to the wall and use it as a wall hook. I think this would be fantastic to hang on the wall like this. You could hang your hat on it. You could hang your dog leash. You probably don't have a camel leash, but if you did, you could hang that too. You could hang, your I'm trying to think what else you would hang by the front door. Your jacket. You could hang anything you want, your purse. So that's why I think that this is a sleeper hit, is because it had all these other attachments and kind of raggedy looking and that collar, and you just needed to take off those things to see what this could be. Now, this also applies into the wood, maybe a bit into the whimsical decor for 2026 as well. So it is on trend. I think it is stylish. It also is a very interesting conversation piece. If someone comes to your house, they'll be like, oh, look at that camel head wall hook. I think it is quite interesting. Now, of course, you don't have to use it as a wall hook, but I think that it would make a great piece of decor for that. And that's why I consider this a sleeper hit, just because you need to look past the exterior elements of it to get to the good stuff underneath. And the final thing that I consider a sleeper hit is this item, because once again, you had to overlook how it looked when you first picked it up at the thrift store to see the more obvious charm of it underneath. Of course, out of the three of the things, I will admit this was the most obvious to see. You just needed to unscrew it from the coat hanger board and take it off. So I did keep the hardware pieces in a separate bag. So when I sell this, someone can buy it and they can use those screws to just attach it to their wall. These kind of hooks always sell well for me. There always is a buyer for them, made of brass and ceramic. And I definitely never found a 6 hook. So 3 double hooks to make 6 hooks in total, and also a butterfly background. So both of these things are new for me. I knew I will want to pick up this hook no matter what when I saw it. And it was just an easy removal to pull those things off of, just unscrew it from the board.
The next category is best find from Europe. I went to Barcelona back in November, and Tracy went to 6 different countries in Europe this past summer with her daughter. So we both have recently been to Europe and both brought back some things with us.
I love this deer. I wonder if I can try to figure out how to get it home, because it is in the big frame. It's only 10 euros though, but I love embroidery. And I love the deer.
If you watched my Thrifting in Barcelona video on YouTube, you know that I ended up with this deer embroidery, and then I had to lug it around for the rest of the day of sightseeing, and I even had to go out and buy a suitcase just so I could get it home. Now that's dedication.
This is really cool. Made from like some kind of old cardboard, 10 euros, made in 1989. And now we're on to the the category of best or favorite European finds. So these, I know this doesn't apply this category to everyone because not everyone has been to Europe or maybe has been recently or even was shopping for vintage in Europe. But I was just in Barcelona back in November and I bought these two pieces that are up there with my favorites. So I did do a lot of vintage shopping while I was there. I went to a lot of thrift stores and a lot of markets, but I was utterly captivated by this embroidery. Not only do I love moody, earthy kind of colors, I love sage green, I love brass and gold, and I love artwork, but I also love embroidery and have a lot of embroidered pieces and paintings with deer actually. So when I found this in Barcelona, I knew I had to have it, and it was a bit of a struggle to get it back home because I ended up having to buy a suitcase. That's how much I loved it. I needed to get it back home since I only took a small backpack with me to Barcelona. But I am very, very happy with this piece. I love this deer, and I'm super excited that I brought it back home. Now, another piece that I really love that I got when I was in Barcelona is this, I don't know if it's like a paper mache kind of piece, but it was made in 1989. The funny thing about this is I got this at a thrift store after I had just come from the Picasso Museum. So I walked in and I thought, this looks like a Picasso kind of inspired piece of art. And it is handmade, so I don't know if someone was just inspired by Picasso and decided to make something like that. But I was really happy with this piece, and that's why I picked it up. It is some, a bit brighter and some colors that I don't normally decorate with, but I do think it's quite fun. And I have it sitting in my living room on my living room shelf right now, and I don't regret picking it up at all, even when I came home, my husband said, oh, this is a bit different for you. This isn't something you would normally pick up, but there was just something about it that I couldn't, I just couldn't leave this piece behind, especially for the price. So these are my two favorite European finds that I got in Barcelona, and I'll be submitting them to this category.
Final category that we had to find items for was unique, weird, or strange items. Now, some of these items you want to leave behind at the thrift store, but some of them I actually ended up bringing home with me. I will tell you this, do not sleep on the weird finds. People like weird. I cannot tell you how many times I've bought super strange things that I thought no one would want, and they sold. Especially I sell vintage in the back room at Studio 205, and a lot of weird finds go there and they sell.
So you know what's funny? I just recently sold a shell lamp like this with a Mary inside. It was more attractive looking than this one. This one is $9.99 and it's missing the bulb, so you have to figure out how to get the bulb in through all these shells. You might be able to do it, but anyway, I just recently sold one of these for close to $70, I think, but it was more attractive than this one. But maybe this can go down in my weirdest and strange finds. But when I was putting them back, the owls back, I found this. And at first I was like, oh no, because the pieces actually come off, these little things, but it's all magnetic. And I thought maybe it was new. I looked it up, it's from the 1970s. It's a sculpture thing. It's so cool. You just pull on the metal pieces and they just keep molding as you go. So I think, look at this. Oh my God. I think I'm definitely gonna get this. This is just so interesting. I'm amazed all the pieces, well, I guess they are magnetic, but I'm just amazed all the pieces are stuck here. Oh my God. It's a cow phone. I have to look this up. The next category is a weird, strange, or unique find, and I will submit these two items for that category. So first up, let's talk about this cow phone. I have never sold a cow phone before. I don't know, honestly, if there is a market for this or not. We will soon find out when I actually get it listed on the website and for sale. But I have sold a duck phone before that was kind of exactly like this. It was just a duck and it was flat like this with the phone underneath. So I'm not sure if this came from around the same time period or not, but the duck phone sold, so maybe a cow phone will sold too. Hopefully it will move quickly off the website. So, and I also think, maybe this will be a touch of whimsy for the 2026 trend of whimsy decor. Maybe someone would think that a cow phone is a bit whimsical. And my other mention for something that I think is cool and a bit strange and unique is definitely this. I have never found something like this before. It's from the 70s. It's super cool. And I think you could just sit here playing with it for a while, moving the little magnet pieces all over the place and building these little sculptures up, seeing how high you can get them. So this will be on the website soon. Oh, this will be on the website soon as well. But I definitely think this was a strange and unique kind of find. But I know there will be a market out there, especially this might be something that I'll just have to make a reel about on Instagram, show people a video of me kind of playing with the magnet pieces, and then they'll see the appeal of it. It's a great thing for someone who fidgets and wants to have a little thing to play with at their desk while they're working or whatever. And a kid would like this as well, I think, because it is really quite fun.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed the thrifting challenge. Make sure you go check out Tracy's page as well at T&E's Home to see her version of the thrifting challenge. And if you would like to like and subscribe to our channels, I know we will both appreciate it so very much. Speaking for myself, I know I'm just a small business, so anytime I get a new subscriber, I get super excited about it. And if you'd like to find me on Instagram, you can at @greenbrier_vintage and on my website at www.greenbriervintage.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.